What is going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI Fan TV. And it's at that time of the year that we all hate. Well, I hate in particular. It's looking back at your league table predictions from the start of the year and comparing it to how it looks at the end. And by God, just from memory, I don't think it's good. I think I called it as being the hardest one yet, and it could well be. This could be my worst year yet. If you do go to enjoy the video, guys, please drop a like on it down below, and please do subscribe and let me know how far off were you with your early season predictions. There were a couple of shocks in there, as we know, but yeah, let's jump right into it. And I think this year could potentially be the hardest year yet to get right. The two newly promoted sides are really, really strong in their own right. Usually you kind of have like a UCD or a Finn Harps kind of thing down the bottom where you're like, okay, guaranteed 9th and 10th maybe or something like that. Whereas this year, it's a really, really hard ask, I think. Called it early. Hard ask. Let's see. In 10th place, this one hurts a little bit because it's really, really hard to know, and this one could be way, way off the mark, but I have just opted for Sligo Rovers. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Sligo Rovers in 10th. Yeah, I think let's play it on. Let's play it on and see what I was thinking. I don't think they did well really last season. They've lost big players over the last couple of years in terms of that striker department. They've lost the likes of Aidan Keenan. They've lost Max Mata last year as well. Don't think they've really adequately replaced those players. Listen, I went early with this. It was before they re-signed Max Mata. But even still, like, he wasn't a huge player. I think he left halfway through the season, didn't he? He moved back abroad. Yeah, this is a bad call. Obviously, Sligo finished up in 6th, and they were kind of still in the European fight towards the end. So, yeah, this is not good. So I think goals could be an issue for them. They have brought in Ed McGinty, who could be a huge factor for them and could save them a lot of points this season. That could just keep them afloat. But I think I'm really worried about Sligo Rovers this season. Yeah, not good. I gave Ed McGinty a little bit of a shout out. He obviously had a really good season once again. McGinty top class, but yeah, this is a bit of a horror show. 4 positions out with Sligo 10th. Like, it's not good. It's not good. Let's see who I went for in 9th. In 9th, this one I've gone back and forth on a few times in my head, but I'm just going to go for Waterford, I think. And I think I could be wrong here as well, because I do love Keith Long. I think he's a fantastic manager. He's one of the best in the league. But I just think that Ronan Coughlin departure could be huge. He's obviously their major outlet for goals last season, but they still have some quality players, Connor Parsons and the likes, who will chip in with goals and assists this season. It's big factor here is Pádraig Amond. We recently did a transfer tier list video where he was mentioned, of course, in that, so make sure to go check that out if you haven't done so already. Him staying fit, he is like 34-35 now, so it's a big risk to bring him back. If he can stay fit and if he can play whatever 30 odd games, that would be massive, and that could see them over the line. If he can hit 15 goals, it could be crucial for them, and it could be enough to keep them out of that 9th place spot. Listen, bit of a decent reasoning there with the whole Paul Jamin thing at the end, but yeah, Waterford kind of fell off a cliff towards the end, didn't they? A little bit. Obviously, they had a good start, finishing up in 7th, but they were never really in any danger of falling into that bottom 2, to be fair. So, not the best call in the world. 2 positions out with them. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that, to be fair. But, yeah, it's tough. Like, yeah, you feel like at least one of the newly promoted sides is going to fall into that bottom 2, and neither of them did, to be fair. So, yeah, it's not the best call either. Waterford in 9th, obviously finished in 7th. Yeah, not great. In 8th, another one that I've gone back and forth on a little bit, but I've gone for Dundalk, and God, how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, their business hasn't really impressed me. It's a lot of players that we don't really know a whole lot about. A lot of loans coming in from England and stuff. There's a situation with the goalkeeper, with his agent talking online, who seems like an absolute clown. So they're probably correct to not pursue that player, because if you have to deal with people like that, it's not worth it. But yeah, I haven't been impressed by their business. They've of course lost Pat Hoban, they've lost Daniel Kelly, so a lot of goals leaving the side there as well. So I do really worry for Dundalk this year. Listen, that's not too bad, I don't think. I don't think anyone expected Dundalk to have as quite as bad a season as they ended up having, to be fair. To come dead last and kind of comfortably relegated in the end was definitely a surprise when you have the likes of Mountney and Benson and the like still there. So yeah, definitely a bit of a shock. And to predict it a lot. I'd say people may predict them in the top 5, top 6 maybe, so not the worst prediction in the world. Obviously, a couple of positions out, but Dundalk in 8th. I'm not too disappointed myself. They're not too angry, but not a good start either. 3 wrong from 3 so far. Let's hope it improves. In 7th, this may surprise a few, and I could be a bit off the mark here. I might have overshot them a little bit, but I have gone for the champions of the First Division, Galway United. Now, they won the First Division at a canter last season, and typically when teams do that, they tend to do quite well in the Premier Division. So I think Galway have enough about them. They've got 2 really, really experienced managers in terms of John Caulfield and Ollie Horgan, who know how to get results in this league. It's going to be a really, really tough place to go. Galway's going to be a really, really tough away day for a lot of teams this season. I see them picking up a lot of points at home. I think they'll obviously have a huge backing from the fans. I think that they haven't brought in a load of players, but they've kept hold of their squad from last season, which is impressive. And I think that feel-good factor will be huge for them. And I think they'll have enough about them to steer clear of relegation to a degree. All happy with that. Like Galway finished 5th in the end, which was definitely unexpected, and to be in with the shout for Europe was never. No one saw that being on the cards, and I think a lot of people had Galway 9th or 10th as well. So Tottenham 7th, I think, isn't the worst call in the world. This was a tough season to predict, wasn't it? It was just so mad. Like, it was a crazy year. I'll be surprised if anyone's predictions are like very, very good this season, because mine certainly aren't. But there a couple of good bits of reasoning there. Good kind of core squad from the First Division, 2 solid experienced managers in the setup. So yeah, listen, I don't think that's too bad, is it? In 6th, I have gone for Bohemians. Now, you may be a little bit surprised by that. Potentially, maybe not, because I think everyone agrees that their transfer business is probably one of the worst in the league so far. They look really, really light in a number of areas, which is really, really concerning. Whether there's still time left in the window, whether they will recruit more players, but now at this stage it's getting to that kind of panic territory. You don't really throw money at players. They've done that in the past and it's not worked out. So it's going to be a real tough year for Bows this season, I feel. That's pretty bang on. To be fair, that's pretty bang on, I thought. Yeah, Bows, obviously, probably worse, a much worse season than people probably expected, to be fair. Decky Devine obviously sacked early doors, bringing in Alan Reynolds. It's hard to kind of quantify for those things when you're doing predictions at the start of the season. But I think off the back of the cup final last year, I think they might have a decent year. I think a lot of people would expect them to be top 5, top 6 minimum. So to get them in 6th, not too displeased once again, but it's always just a couple of positions out, which is tough, isn't it? Like, obviously it's tough to get a bang on the money, but Bows were definitely a lot worse than people expect them to be. But yeah, not a good season. But I'm not terribly disappointed with that show. 6th place for Bows. I think that's a fair assessment. I think Bows fans would potentially take that right now as well, because they don't want to be kind of slipping down into the relegation threatened area, really. Which is it out of the realms of possibility? Maybe not. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Who knows is a good question, because they were very close to slipping into that relegation positions, and if there had been a couple more weeks, I think Drogheda potentially could have caught them, and Bows could have slipped into 9th. So yeah, who knows? Bows fans would have probably taken 6th at the start of the season, and for good reason in hindsight. So yeah, interesting one. In 5th, one of the clubs that I've been really, really impressed by on and off the pitch in the last year or so is Drogheda United. Now, that's probably the worst, yeah, is it? I'd say. Yeah, that's not great now, to be honest. Drogheda in 5th, top half finish. To be fair, they're in a cup final. They could get European football. So maybe Unagi, who knows? But yeah, obviously coming 9th, that one is way, way off the mark. They had a really bad start. Drogheda a bit unlucky in a lot of games at the start of the season, but were 5 points off Dundalk and at bottom of the table at one stage. So yeah, they were miles off. That's miles off in terms of a top half finish, to be fair. So yeah, that's probably the worst. That's as bad as it gets, surely. You would imagine. But yeah, that's not a great call, to be honest. But listen, cup final, and they could still stay in the league, so that's a successful season. In 4th place, now this one is where it gets a little bit controversial and maybe a little bit off kilter, and one I could look back on and seriously regret at the end of the year. But I have gone for Derry City in 4th spot. That may surprise a few. I see the top 4 being really, really competitive this year. So yeah, I think Derry could just slip into 4th spot, which they'd be disappointed by. They want to be challenging for that top place, but for me, I just don't know if they will do so. I'm gonna go for Derry in fourth. That is incredible. That's a great shout. Did anyone else have Derry fourth? Obviously, that's bang on the money. My first correct answer so far, and I'm really, really happy with that. To be fair, Derry in fourth. I don't think anyone was really predicting that at the start of the season. That's a bit of a rogue call, and you can see. I think maybe in the comments there on that video, I would have got a little bit of stick over that as well. Derry in fourth, great shout, bang on the money. Let's go. Now in third, this is probably the one that people might be surprised by, might accuse a little bit of bias here, but I've gone for Shelbourne. 1 second. 1 second. Shelbourne. I predicted them to finish third, and they finished. Where was it again? Where did they finish again? Roll the clip, baby. Come on! Oh my god, what a season it was. And in my defence, I think third is pretty higher than a lot of people would have had them, to be fair. So yeah, to win the league was no one saw coming. And 25-1 outside chance, and to go and do it, it's just absolutely incredible. Damien Duff, take a bow, my friend, take a bow. An incredible season, one to remember, and one that'll be in the history books for a long, long time. Let's see if to say anything else about them. I've been absolutely delighted with the business they have done so far. From a Shelbourne fan's perspective, I'm trying to be as neutral as possible in this video, but I've been absolutely thrilled. I think they've recruited in all the right areas. We've kind of touched on a lot of this stuff in the previous video, but the attacking options that Shelbourne now have at their disposal is really, really good. Obviously losing Jack Moylan is a massive blow. He was so good. I was actually only watched some clips earlier today from him last season, and he was amazing. He was only getting better and better as the season went on, and he was really leading the line from a central position, getting goals, getting assists, linking up well with everyone around him. So yeah, he's a massive loss, and it's going to be interesting to see how Duff actually restructures that front three, whether he goes with whether he kind of goes back to a Sean Boyd target man type. Dean Williams is there now as well, or will he maybe go for like a Matty Smith through the middle, maybe someone more similar to a Jack Moylan to play through the centre, and have a Liam Burton, Will Jarvis playing off with pace in behind. It's going to be really, really interesting, but there's plenty of options that Duff has in terms of how he wants to approach the game the final third next season. Definitely something Shels have increased in terms of the depth of the squad up there. It's always been an issue for them really since they've come up, if a couple of injuries come about, they kind of struggle for options up there, and for goals. But I think the way they've lined up now, I think is really, really good, and they look really, really strong. John Martin coming in is a fantastic bit of business. I think Keith Ward will have some big moments this year, maybe off the bench more than likely, but in the dressing room he'll provide great experience. Sean Gannon coming in, that's a fantastic pickup. It was done so early in the window as well, so people may have kind of gone under people's radar, but I think he's the most decorated League of Ireland player in history. They can keep him fit. He's a huge upgrade on, I think, J.R. Wilson from last season. Massive upgrade. So bringing in that experience can be crucial for the league campaign and of course for the European campaign. But yeah, for Shels it feels like a really, really good place right now. Probably the best goalkeeper in the league as well. So I think Shels are in a really, really good spot. I think Duff, for my money, is... People might give me a stick. I think he's the best manager in the league as well, most high potential manager. He's still early days in his career, so yeah, it just seems like a fantastic place right now, and I think Shels are going to do big things this season, and the third place finish is another year of progression. Big things this season indeed, my friend. What a year it was. Well, I let that run on a little bit longer just to see exactly what I said, and I'm happy with that. Third place obviously seemed a little optimistic at the time, but yeah, delighted with that. Obviously 2 places out, but still in the right direction rather than the wrong direction. Get in there. Now into the top 2, and this is where it gets tricky once again. Obviously we have St. Pat's and Shamrock Rovers left, and I've gone back and forth in my head on this one because obviously the President's Cup has happened now and Shamrock Rovers looked so much better than St. Pat's. Please stop reading into the President's Cup. I cannot do that again next year. It means nothing. Just don't look into it. Reminder, note to self, do not look into that crap next season. I'm going to put St. Pat's in second place. Their business has been fantastic. They've really improved the squad in a lot of areas. They've brought in Rory Keating up front. He's obviously was one of the top goal scorers in the league last season for a poor Cork side. He'll get more chances created for him. I flagged in the last video, but there is that St. Pat striker curse, which I do believe is a real thing. So my outside shout for the season is that Keating doesn't work out or something, but he could well do. He's a quality player. Keating might not work out next season. That is an inspired call. Huge. Obviously St. Pat's did finish in third, but I think Stephen Kenny coming in actually made this prediction look a lot less silly than it was on course to be. There obviously looked like at one stage that they're going to be out of the European mix and out of the question, but then 9 wins in the bounce at the end of the season has them in third place, and it could have snuck second on the last day, but yeah, I'll take that, to be fair, considering how bad it was looking at one stage. So yeah, I'm happy enough to be only one out with that. Mason Melia is going to get more game time this season. He's one of the best young players in the league. He's a really exciting prospect. Obviously that double pivot midfield of Forrester and Lennon, you don't get much better than that at this level. They brought in Aaron Bulger there as backup in that area, which is fantastic as well. Mason Melia, a little shout out for him there. Yeah, it didn't take a genius to work that out, that he was going to have a good year, to be fair. An incredible talent, one of the best we've seen in the league in a long time in terms of young talents coming through. So yeah, Mason Melia, one to watch, was touted to be, and it's sure proved out to be quality player. And finally, as you can probably guess, Shamrock Rovers to win the league again, 5 in a row. It's very boring, but they're just too good. They're too good. Are they though? Last game of the season, and they left it too late, and I've never been more happy to be proven wrong in my entire life. I thought they were far too good, and they weren't. Second place for Shamrock Rovers. Johnny Kenny, I think, is going to kick on again. I think last season that we didn't really probably have the season he would have liked himself, but I think he's going to kick on next season and really fire on all cylinders. So yeah, for me, I think it's a no-brainer. I think Shamrock Rovers are going to do 5 in a row. And that they did not. Johnny Kenny, happy with that though, very happy. I called him to have a better season than he did last year with Rovers this season, which he sure did. I think he was the joint top goal scorer at the end of the season, and probably should have nicked it. I think he was nominated for Young Player of the Year in the team of the season as well, so yeah, happy with that call. But yeah, delighted that I was wrong with that one. Obviously Shamrock Rovers coming second, one position out on that one. So a thoroughly unsuccessful year. I can't even speak. Unsuccessful year in terms of my predictions this season. I think I only got one correct position, which was Derry City in fourth. The rest were a little bit out, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like on it, and please do subscribe. Plenty more stuff coming in the off season, so make sure to subscribe and be there for it. We'll have a little video coming out ahead of the FAI Cup final on Sunday as well, so we'll have plenty of good stuff to come. But I hope you did enjoy the video, guys, and take it easy. We'll be right back.